What's going on, traders? John with Tactical Trading here, coming out with another video. This is going to be something that I'm going to be doing, in fact, just about every Saturday now, and we're going to call this OTC Saturday. I know it's Sunday, but I had a few delays yesterday, so I'm putting this out today, and then in the future this will be out just about every Saturday. What this is going to be is looking, because I scour through the OTC market looking for the best plays. I kind of like the OTC market the best. That's where I perform the best. I like these really cheap stocks, and I like the way they react. I can predict how they react in most cases, just because I'm used to them. And it's what I started trading, and and what I've been the most successful trading in. Now, keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dumbass talking to a cell phone, giving my ideas and what I think about the stock market. These are not tips to go and buy in immediately or do anything like that. Tips are for waiters, waitresses, and pizza delivery guys, not traders. So every trader, you can't call yourself a trader if you're not doing your own research, you're not forming your own thesis and coming up with strategies in how you like trading. You have to see if these stocks fit your strategy. And then, like I said, every trader needs a strategy. You just don't listen to some guy on YouTube and buy these stocks, because you're going to get crushed. You're going to get absolutely crushed. So always, any stocks I tell you, do your due diligence, do your research. I'm just giving you ideas and giving you the reason that I like these stocks. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first stock that we're going to be talking about is Vistar Corporation, VYST. And this is a stock that I'm actually holding. I bought this late in the day on Friday. Now, the reason that I bought this stock late in the day on Friday is because it is forming one of my favorite patterns, which is the first green day. And I know I've described that, but I want to get into it more detail in some further videos. But the first green day was forming. And what I liked about it is there was actually two stocks. There was another stock I was looking at on Friday, which was AITX, but this one crashed at the end of the day. VYST held its gains, and this is why I jumped in. I jumped in a shade under 4 cents, and it closed very strong and closed near the highs of the day. That's one of the criterias, and if you look at one of my videos, I left a comment below of what I look for and the criteria I look for in these first green day plays. So the first green day was setting up. In fact, this stock opened at 0.027 cents. Ended up on the day closing at 0.0425, and it was up 66% from the prior day's close. So this had huge volume. It had a very good gain on the day, 66%, and it had news. Those are three of the main criteria that I look for in a first green day. So I loaded up before the close. What I'm looking for, I'm actually looking for a gap up on Monday morning. So I'm looking for this thing to gap up, and I'm looking for it to run after the gap up. I have a feeling this thing may start or may try to test those low 7 highs that it put up, the low 7-cent highs that it put up about a month ago. What had happened, this was actually in mid-June, the stock ran from 2 pennies, ran all the way up to 0.0724 cents. So that's a huge gain. So, and then the next day it actually went up a little bit, or didn't go up, it stayed around that, and then it crashed down into the mid-5s and then kind of slowly, progressively sunk and flatlined for the next couple weeks. So this stock is a former runner and set up for a perfect, first green day for myself, one of my favorite patterns. Now, what this company does, they actually have a product line of beds, pillows, and air purifiers. Now, air purifiers is what got me interested in this company and why I really like this company. Now, Friday there was a PR that they have a new manufacturer for its RX Air 400 UVC light air purifiers. So, and the product is RX Air 400, and these are air purifiers. Now, also, this product does deliver the actual correct UV light that is recommended by the CDC and Life Sciences to inactivate numerous strains of CV. So, the product actually, from what they're saying, is a legit product. Now, I also keep in mind a lot of these penny stocks and a lot of these OTC stocks are garbage. The companies are garbage, they lie, and this is why I don't hold any of these long term. The way I look at the market is I'll look at every one of these every one of these companies and the people in them as liars until they prove me wrong. And if they prove me wrong, very good. Good for them, good for me, good for everybody that invested. But I'm looking for a trade in this, and my trade was to buy Friday, and I'm going to be selling tomorrow on a run. I won't be holding anything after that. But I do like this company for the next maybe month or so. So I'm going to be looking for pullbacks from where we're at. So if this thing tests the 7 highs and fails, I'll be looking to sell towards 7 and get back in. If it breaks 7, I probably won't be there for the ride up, because if it comes anywhere near 7, I will be exiting the trade. That's just how I am. I'm a very cautious trader, and if the stock tends to run a bit without me, oh well, as long as I get my 10, 20, 30% of the pie. That's all I ask for. I'm a trader that likes to take my earnings, put them in my pocket. Yeah, I get a little FOMO when I see them running without me, but it's better than a loss. I always like to take my profits, and small gains always add up. So don't always look for the home runs. I like to call myself the Ichiro Suzuki of the stock market. I just get out there and slap base hits after base hit after base hit, and they add up. You become a Hall of Famer. The second stock that I'm going to be talking about is OPTI, Optech International. Now, this is a stock that I mentioned about a week and a half ago for one of my CV list of CV stocks that I think are going to really perform very well. This stock opened at 0.0315 cents. It was only up 5% on the day to close at 0.032. So it only closed up just a little pip above where it actually opened, and it was only 5% from the prior day. Now, Optech International, this is a fuel optimizer company, and they do a lot of different things. But the one thing I liked about this company, I'm gearing in on a specific niche in the business, a little niche in the business that I like, and that is actually the iWand and iRover, 2 products that they're putting out. Now, over the past few weeks, they've come out with 3 PRs. They've come out with that the iWand was available on their website for sale. A little bit later, that the iRover was available online for sale, and that they actually opened a new manufacturing facility. So all 3 of these add up to that. They're putting money into this product, and with the environment, with the CV virus environment, these guys are actually looking to expand and get these the products out into people's hands. The iWand obviously is for households and things of that nature. It's the smaller version. The iRover is for commercial. And this is very similar to Vistar Corporation. These are actually UVC light purifiers. So again, this is something that can get really big if this virus gets out of control. We have a second and third waves. If you listen to the TV and you hear these guys on TV talking about this thing's going to be around for a couple of years, this thing's going to change the way we live. We're at the new normal. A lot of these things you hear, it frightens me, but it's like, we have to adjust, and just as traders, we always have to adjust. Now, Optech International was actually traded higher than 5 cents, and now that with this pullback, I really like where it's at. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on Optech International. If I get any more of a dip, I'm going to be in on this stock and possibly holding it for. And this could be one of my little bit of a longer term holds for maybe a week, 10 days, 2 weeks at the most. If it doesn't perform, and then I just cut it, let it loose, and wait for the next opportunity. So that's my thoughts on OPTI. Now, the next company I'm going to be talking about is a company actually I haven't talked about before. This is actually Therapeutic Solutions, TSOI. This stock actually opened the day, and now mind you, this is a sub-penny stock. This stock opened the day at 0.0068. It ended up on the day up and closed at 0.00675 and was up 5%, a little over 5% on the day on Friday. Therapeutic Solutions, in fact, let me get this here in front of me. They focus on immune modulation for the treatment of various and specific diseases. It develops a wide range of immune modulatory against target of now obviously it targets cancers and other diseases. And it also has a drug in the pipeline that they're actually waiting for regulatory review on and things of that nature that I believe could kind of blow this company up. Now, TSOI, I like because this stock has actually pulled back a little bit. I kind of like where it's at. So this is why I'm mentioning it for this week. So I would definitely keep my eye for any PR on this company. It's kind of been flatlining on the PR front. over the past couple of weeks. But when this company has PR, it tends to run. Now, one of the reasons I do like this company is because of the pattern that it's setting up, and this is more of simply a technical trade than a fundamental trade on this stock. This stock had a heavy run up a couple weeks ago, and then it pulled back. Now, where it's at on the chart is there's two huge green candles, and now this stock is kind of hovering in the middle of those two green candles, right in the middle of the run up. And this is a mid flag run up. It's not a bull flag or anything like that. But typically when these stocks, I like to take the chance, because it's usually about 80% of the time when these stocks do a heavy run up and there's no bad news, and they pull back to the middle of that heavy run up, they tend to start bouncing back up. And that's why I'm going to be looking at this stock for the next few days, because if I start to see any run up, I may jump in and just jump in for that technical pattern itself. Now, the next company I'm going to be talking about is, and this is a company I did mention, excuse me, let me adjust this camera here. I know this ain't the most professional setup here, but folks, I'm just trying to get some information to you. I'm not trying to go Hollywood or nothing on you. The next stock is called TPT Global Tech. It's a stock that I mentioned about 8 to 10 days ago on one of my videos that I like very much, but I want you to keep an eye on this stock this week. Now, this stock, the ticker symbol is TPTW. Again, TPTW. This stock actually operates is a technology holding company. This company's in global digital media, telecommunications, infrastructure, and everything like that. But that's not why I like this company. They do have their arm in a lot of different areas, but the one thing I like about this company is their quick labs. And I know most of these are just geared towards the CV bug, but they're quick labs, and I know I went into this in detail, that it's a small portable lab that can be used anywhere from concerts, fairgrounds, baseball, basketball games, sporting arenas, UFC fight, anywhere it can be used where there's a large amount of people come in, even doctors' offices and hospitals. And people can go in and be tested before they're let in to the venue. One of the main reasons I really like this company. Now, they had some PR. In fact, let me get to that PR real quick, just so I can... And the PR was actually they signed a management agreement. Excuse me here, I'm very sorry about that. They signed a management agreement with Miami-based Meredith and Boo LLC to manage and operate and deploy its quick labs. So these guys are moving forward and trying to get these quick labs into as many places as they possibly can, and sign up with a Miami-based company to manage this distribution and managing these quick labs. The PR came out and the stock rocketed up almost 30-40%. But then for some reason the following day the stock just kind of slowly came back down. So if you look, the stock actually opened at 0.066 cents. It was down almost 30% from the following day when it closed at 0.0439. So this stock had a very nice pullback. Once I get out of my VYST position on Monday, most likely I'm going to be jumping into TPTW. I think the pullback was completely profit taking. There was no news, there was no bad news, there was nothing technical that came out or fundamental that came out that warrants this stock taking that type of pullback. In my opinion, it was simply profit taking. This is something I'm going to be looking at very closely at the early next week, tomorrow and the following day, to see if I can get a good position to jump into TPTW. And the final stock we're going to be talking about today is a stock I actually mentioned and made a call on. I believe it was Tuesday, but maybe it was Wednesday actually, where I called out the stock Axim Biotechnologies, AXIM. This stock actually, what they do is they do proprietary research and intends to find new ways to diagnose and treat cancer as well as other conditions through laboratory-delivered cannabinoid and oncological therapeutics. So this company's actually ranged in the cannabis sector, and this is a sector I'm going to be looking at very closely. Just to be a little off subject, I think with these states being in a lot of trouble financially because of the CV bug closing everything down, I think a lot of these states are going to be gearing themselves up to get revenue. One way to get revenue is legalize cannabis, and in doing so, this stock, Axon Biotechnology, is actually in that field. I would be looking at all the cannabis plays over the next couple months, but this one, because of the fact that they came out with a test. Now, this tests for the antibodies and does the coronavirus test. So anything that does coronavirus testing is gonna be looked at by investors, especially a cheap stock like this. When I saw the stock, it was about 40 cents. It was running up. I came out with a video. It shot up to about 47 cents. It started consolidating a little bit. I told you guys to say, look at this stock immediately. This is one of my only buy calls that I put out there, in fact. And this stock then proceeded to go up to $1.47 the following day. So it has now since pulled back. It is trading slightly above that dollar range, where I believe the dollar now is heavy support for this company. If it cracks below $1, we may see panic selling. Where this is where I'd like to get involved. If this thing holds $1 and slowly progresses up, this is something that I would think it'd be more for a little bit of long-term traders. What they're waiting for is they're waiting for approval. And they actually put in an application for emergency approval for their testing. If they get PR on this testing approval, the stock's is gonna shoot up. It's gonna have another nice run up. But what I'm waiting for is this thing to crack the dollar. And if it does, we may see some profit taking and in turn also panic selling. So if we do get that this week, if we do see that thing crack $1, and it starts to flush, and we start to get those red candles, I'll be looking to scoop this thing up and buy some for one of my other favorite patterns, which is a panic dip buy, OTC panic dip buy pattern. Typically, I like to play this in the morning because you're usually going to get a morning, where people have anticipation of that it's going to spike, but it doesn't. It cracks support and just flushes, and could drop anywhere from 30, 40, 50, 60%, and that's where you go and you scoop up the shares and ride it back up for a little 30, 40% gain, and possibly get back out or hold it, however you prefer to trade. But I like the news on AXIM. I really like the news on this company. I think it has potential short-term and long-term. But again, I'm not a long-term trader, so I'll be more just watching this stock, waiting for my pattern to set itself up and get involved. So those are the stocks that I'm looking at. What I'd like you to do is do your due diligence on these. And again, I'll name them off. It's VYST, TPTW, AXIM, TSOI, and OPTI. Most of these stocks I've mentioned in prior videos as well too. So keep your eye on these stocks. Do your homework this afternoon before the open tomorrow. See which ones fit your trading, and if they work for you, figure out a thesis and figure out your entries, your exits before trading, and do what you got to do and make that money. John here with Tactical Trading. Keep an eye out for my watch list. I will have my official watch list this evening, so keep an eye out for that. And everyone, let's get that money.